college beaches as well. And then one of the most important features that you'll see on these beaches is our dune system. Now here in Florida, we have what we call historic dunes, but all of those dunes started out as little tiny babies, just like us. So usually we have an obstacle that is on the beach that stops sand in its place. Whenever I do ecology walks with kids and adults, usually I have a clipboard, and when I'm on the beach, I'll actually stand that clipboard up in the sand, and as the wind is blowing and it's carrying that sand, as soon as it hits the clipboard, it stops and falls. So that is an obstacle. For our baby dunes or embryo dunes, they start with some sort of obstacle, whether it is a plant or a shell, or maybe there's a log that washed up onto the beach. That is the start of our dune system. And then eventually you get 4 dunes, which are a little bit bigger, not too large. And eventually as sand gets added, you will go through the stages and you'll see a yellow dune, eventually a gray dune. And at that point, you'll start to see kind of like ridges and lumps. So it'll go like this. The sand is actually forming those dunes, and then the dune slacks. Those are the low points. And then after a few years, if the dune survives the storms, you get a mature dune. And then if it survives hundreds to thousands of years, you can have historic dunes. Which if you guys have ever heard of the Atlantic Coastal Ridge here in Florida, when our sea level used to be much higher, that is old prehistoric dunes that are still left behind. So if you've been to Hallstrom Farmstead Conservation Area, North Sebastian, thousands of years ago, that would have been oceanfront property. And that is those hills that you walk through, those are actually old historic dunes.